Hi, this is been a while. It has been a while. Today is February 27th. It's the new moon in Virgo. And I do apologize for being on hiatus for the last few months. I have been going through the energy of the transitioning planets, and it wasn't good energy for me, to be honest. A lot of us probably have been feeling well, a lot of us Geminis, mainly, maybe, and Sagittarius, as I feel like, or if you have your house in Libra as well, over the last month and a half, we'll say, has felt most likely a little bit of push and pull. And I quite frankly felt like there wasn't any good energy surrounding me, so I didn't feel comfortable doing the cards for your reading. So now that I'm sort of coming out of that and going into the new moon of Virgo, um, I feel like it's a cleansing and an ending of that cycle. So, yeah, I just feel like now's a good time, and I wanted to jump in there. So today's your general reading for everyone. I'm going to be doing individual readings as well. So stay tuned for that. I also have a multitude of cards now that I'm excited to try with you, and I'm going to use them intuitively. A lot of these cards are basic cards, but they're beautiful. The messages on them are lovely. The artwork is beautiful. And so I wanted to incorporate them in my readings. Now, I am also performing personal readings as well, again, by donation only. So if you're looking for that, you can hit me up in my email, or you can post a message here on my YouTube account. Okay, so let's get started. So this is, I'm so excited. So this came the other day. It's called the Light Seers Tarot. They're absolutely beautiful. It's a 78 tarot deck, and it sort of explores both the light and the shadow aspects of ourselves. So that's really important for those of us who are working with light and doing shadow work right now. So I think I'm going to incorporate these. And then I have some wonderful abundance cards, some chakra, some um, clarification cards. As for example, these are gorgeous. They came in just recently, and as you can see, the artwork is just absolutely beautiful on these cards. So I'm really excited to get started with those as well. So let's go into the reading. So February 27th, 2021. Wow, I can't believe it's the end of February. And the last time I did this was my forecast reading for 2021 at the end of December. And a lot of the things that I said, which basically anybody could have predicted, don't claim to be a psychic, but I did feel intuitively that those things would come to pass. And I do feel like there's still going to be ebbs and flows this year. A lot of communication back and forth, government-wise, to the public, and some protests and things, and people saying they're going to do one thing and do another. So I feel like that's still going to cause some chaos, a little bit of havoc. But I feel like the worst is behind us in terms of the start for the year. You know, you had that whole fiasco in the United States with Trump, and I knew it wouldn't be long lasting. However, he's not out of the way. He's not out of the picture. And for those of you that follow him and want to know about him, he's still going to be in the news and the media for the remainder of the year. I can't predict what the outcome is, but he was born under a star that is very interesting, and so he tends to get out of every jam he's in very easily. I wouldn't say it's a lucky star, but I don't know. It's just this weird sort of energy that surrounds him. Trudeau, on the other hand, I feel like there's going to be a massive change with him as well in the Canadian government. I can't precisely say what, because again, I'm not psychic, although intuitively I feel like um, there's going to be some changes coming with our cabinet. But anyway, so just to go forward from this, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck and see what's going on for all of us here in the general reading. So today's full moon is Virgo. It's an interesting moon. It signifies the end of winter and the beginning of spring for some. Going into the month of March, we're heading into Aries. Virgo and Aries energy. So, um, um, but there's a lot of planetary shifts happening that is still taking place. You know, we still have Jupiter and Mars happening, and we still got Pluto in the picture. And so, you know, when you're dealing with certain planets like this that sort of square off on each other, or, you know, sort of either complement or not complement one another, there can be some conflict within yourself. So just keep an eye on that. Right now, the moon is in Virgo, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad moon. It's just I wouldn't typically make any serious decisions, because it can be with respect to the fact that how do I put this? Some of the planetary shifts right now are causing a lot of like illusion, a little bit of deceit happening, and so I wouldn't really trust right now what is taking place around us. But at the same time, you have to, basically the truth comes out. The truth always comes out, right? At the end of the day, the truth always prevails, and so don't worry. Okay, so let's just go right ahead and shuffle the cards some more and see what happens. All right, so we're going to do a general reading for the month going into March, coming out of January and February, which was a 2-month transitional phase for myself. Let's see what's happening here. Okay. 1, 2. Thank you. Okay. Haha, the Magician. How exciting. So in the wants and desires for the collective right now, we have the Empress in the reverse. We have the 5 of Wands in the reverse and the 9 of Cups in the reverse. We also have the Magician in the reverse. What is going on? Okay, so the Magician is in the present tense. Underneath the wants and desires. So a lot of people, I think we're in a position where we're looking to manifest what's happening, and we just want change. And I think a lot of us on the collective are sort of like, you know, putting forth this energy that, you know, it's time for change. We want to get things into another state. We're just kind of fed up basically with how things are being run and with the whole COVID thing. People are tired of being stuck in the house. High Priestess in the reverse. A lot of us are looking for intuition, looking towards our inner self to help guide us, because we really don't trust everyone around us. The news is sort of like up in the air. We don't really know what's going on. Up is down, down is up kind of feeling, and a lot of us feel that way. So it doesn't surprise me that these cards are in the reverse. That's sort of what we're wanting to take place. We want more, you know, I feel like a lot of us are looking inward to our own self for guidance, as opposed to, you know, our authority figures or teachers in our lives, which is fine. But you also have to remember that the higher power is at play. So what's happening is happening, and it is what it is. In other words, all these things, all these events, all these situational feelings, people, everything is happening the way it's supposed to. So I wouldn't worry too terribly much about what's going on in our lives right now. Okay, we are where we're supposed to be. Okay, so let's draw the third card for the present, thank you, which is the 7 of Cups in the reverse. What is going on? Seems like all these cards are in retrograde. Okay, so, yeah. And then we have the, geez, okay, so, let me just get these straightened out here. Move this back just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so, okay. The Union card for this universal energy. Lots of unions, reuniting loved ones, marriage, family. I think a lot's what's all up. A lot of this is on a lot of people's minds for obvious reasons. So I think that's part of the spiritual collective, is we just want more, you know, family time. We want to see our loved ones. And with COVID, there's so many restrictions right now. I feel like, our grandparents and the elderly people in our lives are being sort of cut away from the rest of society, and that feels sort of constrained and wrong, because that's when they need us the most and have our support, and it makes a difference. And so I think that's pretty natural to have that in the overall energy of the universe currently. So I can tell that, a lot of us are wanting more of that connection to our family and loved ones. Okay, 2 more cards, please. Thank you. Okay, the King of Swords in the reverse. Looking for some communication. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of us are feeling controlled and oppressed by COVID, and I feel like the King of Swords coming up in this reading here for the overall energy of the universe is that it's telling us that we're all having the same feeling of like enough is enough, like I said before in the present reading, looking for intuition, trying to manifest something new, trying to bring forth choices. We all kind of feel a little bit stale, and that's going to come to pass, so not to worry. What is that? I want to check on this. Hang on a second here. Yeah, and I also feel because the Seven of Cups here is in the reverse, where a lot of us are sort of, again, like I said, lacking choices, but we're seeing things, there's a lot of clarity happening for some of us. A lot of us are getting sober. A lot of us are giving up addictions. I quit smoking. I feel like this is, we're choosing and picking our decisions wisely because we're understanding the intent that they have. We're understanding the significance that they make in the overall energy that surrounds us with respect to our friendships, our relationships, our family, our loved ones, our colleagues, and the energy at every level in the universe. So I think a lot of us understand that there's a lot happening, and we just want things to go to a place where we all feel safe, comfortable, relaxed, we can socialize, and have choices again. Like a lot of our choices have been taken away. In the King of Swords up in the back reverse position here, it talks about oppression. So I feel like we are feeling oppressed by not being able to be sociable, because we are social creatures after all. Also about it also talks about feeling trapped. Some of us have a lack of spiritual growth happening. Again, feeling stale, stale, or not, I don't want to say stuck, but like feeling kind of like we need like something fresh, something new, something to come in to say, hey, something to grab our attention, because we're just sort of bored with all the COVID and all the politics and all the restrictions, right? And a lot of us feel like because of these things, we've had some missed opportunities, and I guess maybe in a position to reality check ourselves, right? Like, what is happening? Like, what's like, this is a reality check right now, like universally, right? Like everyone, and it's a global thing. So all of us around the world collectively are feeling this way. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people feeling this way also has this connection to all of us. And so because we are collectively together in this, we do feel that a lot of the times there's some trickery going on with, the higher, I wouldn't say higher power, but I mean the aristocrat bureaucracy of politics, and what we're being fed by the media, that it's kind of, we're tired of the abuse of power, I guess, as a collective. So I feel like, again, like I said earlier with the protests, they will continue. People are kind of fed up with the lack of discipline, with the lack of control. Having, if it's kind of like, when you're in a family and you lose that um, paternal feeling of safety and guidance, and and it could be maternal as well. There's really no feminine or masculine quality to it, but it does feel masculine in this position. Where you can go and look to that Christ consciousness, or that feeling of that fatherly protection or guidance that we're all sort of lacking in our lives right now, because there's really nobody. I mean, we're all sort of cut away from each other, right? So I feel like a lot of us are trying to manifest some good things to come in. I see also, I just want to look at the High Priestess in the reverse, because I'm not familiar with. Yeah, so again, repression of intuition, blocked psychic powers, unwanted attention, uncontrolled, I'm just reading from my notes here, uncontrolled outbursts. A lot of us are just saying stuff that we shouldn't say. Like, I've said shit that I really shouldn't have said at work and that sort of thing. But it's all because of lack of self-discipline and beliefs. Like, I feel like there's some um normally there's balance within each other and with respect to the collective, and I feel like that's shifted. I feel like there's a lot of people who are doubting, and but that's the new moon in Virgo now coming, and once this moon in Virgo comes and goes, I think a lot of the clarity will come back. People will start to realize that it's not all that bad. Things are going to get better, and I was just sort of being stuck in that mindset stale, that freshness is going to break through. Okay, and then we have the Empress in the Wands and Desires, and the Empress, usually talks about, fertility, growth, beginnings, fresh starts, sensuality, like a sense of nurturing, creativity, beauty, nature, things like that, things that make us happy, right? And in this position, because it's in the reverse, it's talking about like insecurities, infertility, lack of confidence, lack of growth. So again, like I said, there's this overall disharmony happening in the overall collective, and I think that's what we're wanting to have happen. We want to manifest good things, right? And then the Five of Wands here usually talks about compromise, and there's conflict. Five is the number of communication, but it's in the reverse position. And so when it's in the reverse position, it does talk about, oops, that's the wrong, hang on. I was going to say, it talks about getting situated, getting straightened away, finding the solutions, the compromise to that conflict. Let's see what this says. Peace, harmony, the intimidated or suppressed temper, lack of competition, extreme aggression, seeking conflict, canceled sports. So in the news recently, I feel like this morning, I think I heard something about, no, it was yesterday, here in some places of Nova Scotia, they are canceling all the sports activities and things like that, but they're allowing people to still practice, which makes absolutely, I don't know, just makes no sense to me. But so I feel like a lot of us are sort of feeling like, we want to find a solution to this conflict that we're facing every day with, this inability to be sociable, this inability to be with our families, inability to, manifest what we want and follow the advice of others that we've always followed. And now we're kind of like reverting back to our internal self, our intuition, trying to manifest these good things. And it's a good thing, because if we don't, then we'll still remain the way we are. Like, movement changes with social thought, social injustices change with productive, constant, I guess the word I'm looking for would be perseverance, right? Determination. And I feel like, because, we're having all these choices, like all these beautiful choices placed in front of us, that we just can't attain, and it's making us feel like, again, stale. So also emotionally, I feel like, because of all these, restrictions, it's placed a toll on us. We're kind of like sitting, like the Five of Cups, where, like, it's like, hey, you know what, we really have all these lovely options, but we can't go near them. We can't appreciate. We can't, interact. We can't receive and give that love and affection. But you know what? We really can. It doesn't have to be physical. You can push some emotions out into the world towards others, especially if you have a strong connection to that individual psychically, emotionally, spiritually. If they're your soul people, if they're your tribe, you know, if they're your people, whether family or no family, blood or water, we're still all connected. And so just saying that the Five of Cups talks about choices and the inability to receive or see them is the opposite. So I just want to, Nine of Cups, sorry, show you here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Mm, okay. Yeah. So because of all the restrictions and things like that, like I was just talking about this the other day, a lot of us have had sort of this like inability to dream big and inability to move forward with, you know, proactively living our lives, like making decisions that, bring us more money or, bring us more spirituality or bring us more abundance, manifest these beautiful things in our lives. And a lot of us feel kind of unhappy right now because we can't do that. We feel restricted, but it's physical, guys. It's only physical. You can still manifest. You can still intuitively feel like, okay, well, I want more love in my life. I'm going to project that out into the universe. I'm going to be as loving as possible to all those around me, whether it's by video and sending my love to all you guys, my supporters, my family, my friends, my tribe, my soulmates. And when I mean mates, soulmates, I mean like soul people, my circle of soul numbers. And we can go on about that on another video if you like. Just comment below if you want more information on that. But you can also look it up on Google. It's just really connecting with the people that maybe we've been connected to in different lives, and it just happens over and over. So anyway, there's like a negativity basically going on in the wants and desires. We were just done with it. Like I said, we want that conflict to be over. We want to make the compromise. We want to turn the Empress upside down and say, hey, you know what? We can do all these wonderful things. We can have all these wonderful things. We can make that connection. We can manifest. We can follow our intuition. We can have choices. We want all these things back. We want life to just kind of kickstart again, right? Into the flow of the way it's supposed to be. Now, not necessarily that it's been the way it's supposed to be, but in the sense that what we're used to, right? And we're looking for that fulfillment, that success, that being able to like overachieve, and because we're kind of not able to do that, we've kind of, maybe picked up some bad habits, maybe eating a bit too much, maybe not eating at all because we're stressed. There's a lack of fulfillment, and we feel like, there's some misery going on there. Maybe even some shattered dreams. Maybe there's been people who are watching this video. Maybe there's some of you out there that had all this stuff lined up, and all of a sudden it just came all crashing down because life happened and this pandemic occurred. And I feel that, like, no joke, that would be devastating. And for those of us that are blessed that didn't happen, you know, but I still feel that is something that is going on in the collective. But because we're all sick and tired of being where we are, I do feel like things will change. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle the deck so we can get the last card in the position for the energy of the universe and see what they have to say. Thank you. Okay, so the World popped up in the reverse, but I also got this card, so I'm going to pop it up as well, which is the United Lovers card. Okay, so it's also the Soulmate card. So it's in the reverse, and the World is in the reverse. So the World in the reverse talks about, okay, the world exactly is cycles. The world is birth, rebirth, death, birth, cycles, right? And when the world is in the reverse position, it talks about unfinished business. So as we're wrapping up the last 2 months, possibly the last 7 years, possibly the last 34 years, whatever your cycle is, whatever your path is and then ends. In order for it not to repeat itself, we have to tie up the loose ends, right? We have to really concentrate on what it is that we want to do that we're not going to do again, so that we don't make the same mistakes, that we learn from the mistakes that we've made so that we can move forward. And so if we don't do those things, if we don't work on ourselves spiritually, mentally, physically, feed our soul, feed our mind, feed our spirit, take care of our bodies, things like that, you know, and not pay attention to the signs that the universe are giving us, or the dreams that we're having, or the guidance that our spirit guides give us, or our angels show us, or don't see the numbers that pertain to, you know, if we're on the right track or not. What does it mean? You know, not investigating the signs. Then we don't really learn what we're supposed to. And then the cycle will repeat. So because there's so many people up in the air about this, we're just done. We want the cycle to be over. So the universe is saying, yes, we will come. It's going to come to completion. This will finish. This is going to come. This is wrapping up all of these sort of negative things as being constrained, this being held back, this being stuck. You can't travel, you can't get in your car and go for a drive because you feel like, you know, you're in prison. And if you do that, then you're, you know, it's kind of like this mental prison that we're all in, as well as a physical one. So although there are restrictions that have been loosened, we still feel that mental prison going on, right? We still feel that, oh, maybe we should keep apart. And it's not natural. It's not a natural thing for social beings to want to separate from one another. It's a natural thing to pull together. This being forced on us is going against the grain of what we are as human beings. And so I feel like the universe is trying to tell us that, yes, we're going to come and bring this to its end. It's going to become a new cycle happening, but we do have some unfinished business to take care of first. The universe does have to do something about it, and you know, there are moving parts that have to play out before that happens, right? The Four of Wands is here, and the Four of Wands, again, like I said, this is the union card. Families reunion, coming home, celebration, wet parties, weddings, communities, spirit, family unity, success, prosperity, you know, laying down roots, teamwork, self-esteem, proud of success. All those things are here, right? It's like they're right here, but this has to happen first. And you know, this is how we're feeling. And so I feel like the universe is going to give that push. It's going to come to an end, and things are going to be okay. Now, the two of Cups card that called out to me, that was there, is an interesting card because it talks about union, which also goes hand in hand with the celebration card. And I find it interesting that it's on the other side of the energy universally. And the Two of Cups, typically I always refer to it as my soulmate card, or my twin flame card, or my relationship card. I think a lot of relationships are going to end. I think a lot of relationships are going to start. It's just the cycle of life, right? This is what happens. And you know, a lot of us have to just be prepared that that may be something that's going to happen, you know. And I don't foresee it being a bad thing, because everything happens for a reason, right? Everything. And usually when we feel disharmony or imbalances, again, like with the High Priestess card there and the Two of Cups being in the reverse, you know, couples, they can argue and you know, breakups, divorces, things like that are going to happen. But you know what? I feel like also the ends of friendships too. I feel like people are letting go of what's not serving us anymore. So if you're in a toxic relationship, now would be the time to end it if you haven't already done so. You know, if you're in a relationship with somebody and maybe it's just because you haven't dealt with your real feelings. Maybe you're in a loveless marriage. Maybe you're in a relationship that's not good for you. Maybe you're in a relationship that's not good for the other person. Maybe you realize that this isn't what you want for your life, or maybe this is what you do want for your life. Maybe the person that's in your life, you've decided you want to have a family with and put roots down and all those sorts of things. So I think a lot of people are really concentrating on what is good for them, because being trapped in an environment with people makes you really see things and face things, and brings the truth to the surface, and what's buried or what's hidden becomes revealed, right? Whether that's unresolved feelings, emotions, issues that you've never dealt with that you just sort of push under the rug and go about your day, because you can go to work and you can escape and you can do the things to keep yourself busy. But when you're not able to do that, and it's put right in your face, and you're faced with that change, that necessary change, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because for all those that are involved, it's a new beginning. Whether something ends or starts is, again, a cycle, right? And, you know, I'm not saying that breakups are good. I'm just saying that sometimes if it's not a healthy thing for us, this pandemic is something that definitely made us see things for what they are and face the truths of our life, okay? The overall energy is the Nine of Wands for this reading. And the Nine of Wands talks about reflection. It talks about reflection. It talks about feeling fatigued, kind of we're drained. We've been putting these wands up everywhere, and but we're nearly there. We're nearly there. We have the courage. It's all about perseverance. Again, like I said earlier, right? And learning from past failure, right? It says gather strength, push forward, be guarded, you're wounded, but you can you can heal from these wounds, right? With perseverance and with just taking the time to heal. So I'm going to go ahead and end this reading, but before I do, I'm just going to pull a quick card for those of you that are interested in just 1 second here. Okay, so this is just a quick little card for those of you that may feel lost right now. Okay, it's just like a one little reading message. I feel like from our spirit guides or angels, from the collective consciousness, the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it. Thank you. So, dispelling sadness. It says, I will feel better once I get the rest I need. See? So it's all about healing. Okay? It's all about healing. I will get better once I have the rest that I need. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these cards so you can get your sacred geometry and your number. They're beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I'll get my glasses for this one, folks, because it is very, very small print. And these eyes aren't what they used to be. All right. Oh, they're dirty. Okay. So number 15, it's called compassion. So it says the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. See, it doesn't have to be physical, right? So again, compassion, it's a beautiful card, beautiful resonating frequency there. And it's the number 15, and 1 in 5, if you denote it down, is 6, okay? So that's that, and I'm going to go ahead and just give you one more card from our beautiful, I love these cards, they're gorgeous. I forget what they're called, but they're beautiful. Okay, so just for the collective, another message, please, just from going forward, besides healing ourselves. Thank you. There's 2. Okay, wow. That was fast. All right, so clearing card and companionship card. So there you go. Clearing, companionships. Okay. So it says, as true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust. I gotta take this thing off because I can't. It's getting on my nerves. It doesn't serve me. Okay. Okay. As true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. So that's your intuition again, following your intuition, right? You shift from mine, mine, to God's. Okay? God's, the universe's, energies, and it's beautiful freedom. So once you let go of the material, the physical restrictions, you'll have that clearing. Look at that beautiful picture. Look at it. It's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. You can take a snapshot of it if you like. And then the other one is companionship, and you have two beautiful elephants, right? An elephant's made for life, and they're very intelligent. Okay, companionship. So it says giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. So complete presence, what does that mean? Are you here? Are you in the moment? Are you acknowledging? Are you participating? So sometimes we get lost in what we're doing, reading a book, and we're like, yeah, that's lovely, watching television, yeah, or doing work, yeah. No. You need to stop what you're doing and really be there in the moment, listen, react, and exchange the energy, right? Be in the present moment. Be present, right? Be present with the one that you love. Be present with your feelings. It's something very difficult to do. I mean, everybody works on that. I work on it. I mean, everyone works on it. But being present is not just about being in the moment. Being in the moment is about accepting that time doesn't exist, or that you're just doing what needs to be done. You're following the path, being in your moment. But being present means your intention is there. You have intent. Your intent. You're attentive. You're compassionate. You can listen and hear. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what's going on with a lot of relationships. So I feel like that's a good card for the relationship people, and a really good card for those who are trying to clear their cycle and get on the right path. Okay. And you know what? It's not as easy to let go as you think, but it can be. It can be easy if you really reflect, be present in the moment, and think to yourself, is this something that is serving me in a good way? Is this good for me? Is this productive? Is this a good energy? Does this make me feel good? Is this healthy? Is my mental state, and am I in a good place mentally when I'm around this person, or if I'm doing these things? Maybe these choices I'm making, are they good for me? Oh yeah, well, I don't care. You know what? I'll deal with that later. Mentality is out the window. We cannot think that way anymore. We have to really be present and make the necessary changes to move on to the next path, because if we don't, we will continuously cycle, and that's when your unfinished business never gets finished. And then you maybe come back in the next life and you got to do this shit all over again. Like, I don't want to do this shit all over again. I want to have a different path, and more different exciting adventures and different lessons to learn and things like that, right? So just some food for thought. With that being said, thank you for joining me, and thanks again for being patient with me. I know I haven't been online for a while, and like again, I said, I go based on vibration and frequencies and things like that, and for me personally, the energy just wasn't there, and I feel like it's now coming back, and I'm really happy to be here. So thank you for joining me, and until then, we'll see you next time. Thanks.